Alrighty then. This excellent. It's cool how I can stream to 3 platforms, man. It's really cool. It's really cool. So today I thought I would do some education of myself on love your enemies. Education. Love your enemies, guys. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? I'll just check these. I'll just check the broadcast of each site for audio. Come on, mouse. There you are. Test. YouTube. Test. YouTube. So that's YouTube. Now we'll check YouTube. Facebook.com/. Facebook. Yep. There we go, there's Facebook. Now we'll try Twitch. Perfect. Twitch. There we go. So I'm streaming to all 3 services and I still get no followers, or I'm really boring. Oh, it's not a rerun. It's saying rerun, but it's not a rerun. It's live. It's live, man. It's live. Channel. We'll go create a dashboard. Customers, here we go. Save. Profile, add a link to your social media, add a short bio. Profile picture. Choose an asset color. We'll go yellow. Select yellow. Save. Save changes. Get 50 followers, 0. You stream 10.3 hours in the last 7 days. Get 5 people chatting at the same time. I must have had someone chatting. Never saw them. Never see the chats anymore. I should really monitor them, but there's just not enough people coming in. Love your enemies. Oh, low. What is love? 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 Canned baked beans. What is love is baked beans. Baked beans is what is love. Baked beans and spaghetti. What is love? What is love? Oh shit, I didn't sit my arm. Whoops, I got some chips cooking. How long's it been? Facebook. It's been 7 minutes 12, so we'll say 10 minutes. So we'll say 50. 250. 250. Okay, save. Try 10 minutes. Yeah, that'll do. It's been 47 minutes since I had a cigarette. Feeling alright actually, not having any cravings. But as soon as you think about it, it brings the cravings on, of course. I think that's what I did last time. Okay, we could look at cigarettes as my enemy, right? Maybe we could consider cigarettes not like the government or something. The government's kind of made themselves my enemy. They owe me money. Give me my money. Give me my money. You owe me money. Phone call on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. Hell yeah. Evil government. Wicked, man. Friggin' wicked. So wicked. Oh my god, they're wicked. They like conspiracy theory and everything, guys. But I'm not gonna go into that. See, I don't want to love my enemy. I'd rather just smash them and kill them and like hurt them. But then I don't really want to do that either, because I know I don't want. If I was my enemy and my enemy did that to me, then I don't want that. You don't want that to happen to yourself. Like, if you put that on your enemy, what you're doing to your enemy, you don't want that to happen to yourself. So, not as revenge. I mean, like, as you kind of figure, like, you think, well, if I was my enemy and I attacked my enemy. How do you attack the enemy? How does Jesus say to defend yourself? Bless those who curse you. Happy government days. Yeah, shit. We'll read the whole scripture, eh? We'll look up love your enemies. Okay, and it's Matthew 5:44. You've heard that it was said that this is beginning from Matthew 5:43. You've heard that it was said. Hang on, I'll get the King James version. 5:43. Matthew 5:43. Here we go. You have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbour and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Right, that's really hard. Bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be children of the Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute the brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? But be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Oh, that's some hard words right there. Did he just say that? So you got to presuppose that God's actually real, right? You know, because God might not even be real. There's no proof that God's real, of course. Or the only evidence is the church and the followers. But they're not good enough because they got no power. Where's their power, man? They've got no evidence of God. And it's also countered by saying, well, you've got the Christian church, then you've got the Muslims, then you've got the Buddhists and the Hindus and everyone, you know, all these different ones. So who's right, who's wrong? What makes Christians so right? The thing that interests me about, gives me more credence to Christians is the fact that Jesus supposedly had powers, where Muhammad and all the other dudes didn't really have powers, you know. But you can't rule out their teachings. Maybe they could be just another wise man. But then if there's no God, then they're complete flipping fools, you know, if there's no God. So everyone who's ever believed in God is a complete flipping fool. Maybe, I don't know. I need help, guys. I need financial help for a house. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom in heaven. Kingdom of heaven. Kingdom in heaven. Kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Yeah, the salt of the earth, turned into foot of man. You are the light of the world. City set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick that giveth light to the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. Well, I've got no good works. Love your enemy. Fuck Jesus. No, it's not even about your enemies. Well, kind of is. It's more about money, isn't it? Isn't life more about money than enemies? And if you do have enemies, well, why did God put them there, you know? Fucking useless God, man. Who the fuck creates enemies? And then, it's fucking shit, bro. Enemies. In the modern day fucking life. Enemies. Fuck. Jesus, everyone's still primitive. But then there are just some people you just don't like. I mainly don't like evil people. So, because they're evil. And then I'm kind of evil. So, I'm human, so I'm evil. No, it's the government that's evil, man. Freaking hell. The government is evil. I don't want to love you. I don't know how to love you. I know how to love, guys. How do you love? What is love? Baby, you don't love me. Love's just been dragged through the mud behind the car. That's the word love. We'll look up some Jordan Peterson on love. Jordan Peterson, love.
What is a woman?
A woman is it's a combination of your...
I don't know how you lay it out properly, but you tell people that you love how to avoid the road to hell. And you don't do that because you're shaking your finger at them or because you're a moral authority. You do it because you don't want them to burn. If you view someone with love, then it's incumbent upon you to treat them as if they're valuable. The more you treat other people as if they're valuable, the better person you are. That just comes along for the ride in some sense. So none of that seems questionable to me. That seems solid. And so then maybe the more love you view other people with, the higher the moral demand that's placed on you. And then I would say too, well then that's another reason why it's so important to be truthful and in some sense to be good, because it isn't obvious to me that you can withstand that moral load.
Well, that was cool. Not wishing to see them burn. I think that's a pretty... some people just want to burn them. Here we go, here's a 5-minute clip, guys. What you do when you love someone.
If you love someone, you simultaneously love and accept their fragility. And that means that in some way you actually think it's justifiable. That's what I thought about my son. It's like, no, I think he's fine just the way he is. Like, 3 years old, got his problems, certainly gets hurt a fair bit, and is probably going to get hurt more, but I'm not trading him in. I like him just the way he is. And so that's it's a realization of the soul that there's something about the fragility of human life that's actually valuable. And it is the limitation. That's the thing that's so cool about it, is that it's this limitation that we are, because that's what we are, is we're limitation. We're potential conjoined with limitation in some sense. Think, well, we want to get rid of the limitation, but it's not the case. We have to keep the limitation because it's integral to who we are. And so we're in this situation where we have to be limited, and we have to accept it, and we have to confront what's essentially an infinite potential to help us manage it. And I think that that's true. And I think that's how we act. I think it's what we expect. I think it's what we need to know. Because you have to say, and that's part of standing up straight, right? And accepting the tragedy and catastrophe of existence. This is partly why I think the West got it right. Because I do think we got it right. The central story, we're a Judeo-Christian culture, and there's a central story at the bottom, and the story is about the radical acceptance of fragility. That's what the crucifixion represents. The fact that that's a voluntary act. And it's about everybody. That's the thing. It's about everybody. It's that, well, you're going to die. You're going to be betrayed. Those are going to happen. And so you can either shrink from that and maybe envelop yourself in bitterness and hatred. And no wonder, no wonder. Or you can say, bring it on. Bring it on. say, well, I've looked at dark things as much as I can. You know, and I think that's probably hurt me in many ways.
Bring it on, man. Hunger is an enemy. Maybe. Anybody know how to log around here? Nobody knows how to log. So. Niggas got no love. Niggas got no love. Ooh, 6 minutes and I have some food. Yeehaw. So what would Jesus suggest that you do about Hitler, you know, and this army of men all wanting to take over the world? He'd magic them away. He'd just go to the cross. Sure, Jesus. Sure, Jesus. That's what you should do. Don't use your magic powers. This is an evil world. Oh my god, look at the world. Look how evil it is. Fuck. I don't want kids. You cute. You cute. I guess we could keep living. Maybe see what happens in the future. Maybe in like 1 million years it'll be real primo. You know, they would have solved death and suffering and pain. Talks about the Bible. The Bible talks about that. God's kind of non-existent, guys. God's kind of non-existent. Put this rest of this Jordan Peterson video on.
But it's been unbelievably helpful. You know, because the thing about darkness is it makes the light stand out. And as I've looked deeper and deeper into terrible things, I've also realized that there's something amazing about human beings. You know, because our lives are bounded by tragedy, and we are capable of deep malevolence. More so than you can almost imagine. But I don't think that's what defines us. I really don't. I think what defines us is the ability to transcend that. I truly believe that. And so I'm not pessimistic, I'm optimistic. And, you know, I do believe that people are embodying miracles. I really think that's the right way of thinking about it. And I think we all know this. And what I'm hoping in these polarized times is that we return to that realization and that we adopt the responsibility of full individual being as an antidote to, well, idiot political polarization, but also as an impetus for us all to move forward into the future. We're in an inflection point, I think, in our culture, in the world. Things are opening up in front of us that have never opened up before. It's very dangerous. Our technological prowess is very dangerous, and things can go very dreadfully wrong. But I don't think they have to. I think they could go extraordinarily right. And I think that each of us, I do believe this, that every single person sitting here, every single person there is, but every single person sitting here plays a key role in that decision. You know, we're all part of it. We're deeply networked. We all influence everyone else. And we are these divine centers of consciousness that are separate but united at the same time. And the decisions that each of us make as individuals are far more important than we realize. Our lives are ultimately meaningful, I think. And that we do decide whether by our actions we're going to bring a worse or a better cosmos into being. And I would say that we should dispense with our resentment and our bitterness, despite the fact that we have every reason for it, and stand up and face things forthrightly, and speak the truth, and make the world a better place. Then you ask yourself, well, what's the limit of that? Because that's the religious question, fundamentally.
So that was Jordan Benson. Anyway, that's my stream on Love Your Enemies, and that'll have to do. Because I'm bored now.